Alex Pereira's punches should be illegal. His power has sent fighters into the shadow realm in the UFC, in kickboxing, and in boxing. What's surprising is that from his very first amateur fight, Alex seemed to accidentally knock out his opponents. So let's not waste any more time and take a look at every single knockout from this warrior. Since his amateur kickboxing days, Pereira has disliked leaving fights to the judge's decision. Even with headgear and thicker gloves, his opponents found no respite. That's why he earned the nickname Poatan, which translates to hands of stone. His knockout spree continued as he transitioned from amateur to professional kickboxing. Unfortunately, there are no recordings available of his first professional knockout against Fabio Alberto. However, his second knockout is well documented. It's evident right away that the style of the 25-belt Pereira differs from his current one. The first knockdown was delivered with a knee to the body in the second round. The second knockdown swiftly followed. As soon as his opponent stood up, Pereira delivered the same knee. Despite getting up for the second time, which angered Pereira, he rushed to finish his opponent decisively. The next knockout came swiftly in the following match against Camilo Ferraz. The fighters began with a fierce exchange of kicks. Apparently forgetting to keep his hands up, Ferraz paid the price.
É 85 quilos. Aqui o pau tá comendo. Ô, rapaz! Que chegada!
In this fight, we saw Pereira's legendary left hook for the first time. Although his opponent managed to rise, Pereira smelled blood. He ended the fight with a precise knee to the liver.
Vai, castiga, dale, vai pra cima, tira a cinta, dá surra mesmo.
Isso aí na distância, tá muito bom, cinta o joelho.
His spectacular career in amateurs and a series of brutal knockouts caught the attention of the promoters of the world's premier kickboxing league, leading to Pereira's signing. At Glory 14, Poatan met Dustin Jacoby in his debut match. A multiple-time winner of Glory tournaments and a future UFC fighter. In this fight, we saw a more classic Poatan, emphasizing low kicks and his deadly left hook. The left hook shook his opponent. However, Jacoby managed to hold on, but another left hook knocked Dustin Jacoby out cold. There couldn't have been a better debut in Glory. However, the next knockout occurred in another league. After a short, dry spell, Pereira gifted his fans with a rare type of knockout in a fight against Ivan Galaz. The fighters started with a cautious exchange of low kicks. By the middle of the first round, Alex started landing high kicks effectively. Towards the end of the round, it was evident that Pereira's kicks caused considerable pain to his opponent, who complained to his corner about his arm hurting from blocking the kicks. Despite this, in the second round, the opponent decided to press forward. However, a knee to the body cooled Galaz's ardor. As soon as the countdown ended, Pereira kicked him in the shoulder, and the referee started counting another knockout. But one more kick to the shoulder, and the referee stopped the fight. After a couple of knockouts in kickboxing, Pereira decided to stir things up in the MMA world. So he faced Marcelo Cruz at Jungle Fight 85. Alex started the fight aggressively.
Previsão nessa que foi considerada a melhor luta do
Throwing all the strikes he knew at his opponent, paying the price by conceding a takedown. After a brief spell on the ground, they returned to the feet. There, Alex landed a powerful overhand and finished his opponent by the KO.
Outra vez a direita, sambou. E agora de novo, ó. No 1-2. Isso cruzado de esquerda no vazio. Entrou direita. Entrou direita do Alex Pereira. Agora é questão de tempo. Vai batendo. Firme com vontade. A esquerda de...
For the next fight, Pereira grown the Spanish. A couple of months later, Alex returned to the jungle fight cage against Vinicius da Silveira. This opponent proved to be trickier, essentially trying to clinch Pereira to the cage throughout the fight. Whenever Poatan managed to break free from his opponent's tight grip, he easily battered him.
Essa geração que a luta agora sim. Agora sim. O Alex Pereira foi. Subluta. Aí o chute rodado.
By the middle of the fight, the opponent grew tired of clinching, allowing Pereira to brutally end the fight with a knockout.
E sabe que na trocação cruzado. O upper de esquerda. Agora vai. Outra vez o cruzado. Outra vez o cruzado. O upper de esquerda. Vai na combinação. Outra vez. Agora acabou. Terminou.
For the next knockout, his victim was Junior Alpha at the WGP 30 tournament, where the fighters battled for the middleweight world championship. The opponent chose to start the fight with low kicks.
Agora olha a postura que o Júnior.
To which Alex responded with boxing combinations.
Júnior Alpha. Aí o chute rodado. De novo a combinação.
By the second round, Junior came out extremely charged.
E o Alex vem voando na carreira. O Júnior Alpha, deixa eu até dar uma olhada melhor. Vai pra cima o Júnior Alpha. Só tá vermelho. É, só tá vermelho mesmo.
However, the pace of the fight wore him down, and by the third round, Alex managed to drop him with a
Vai pra
bot.
cima. Aí trabalho cruzado de direita. Na linha de cintura, sentiu!
Although the opponent managed to get up, his resilience lasted only until the middle of the fourth round.
Sente que é o momento. Vai pra cima. Trabalha ali na trocação. Vai batendo. Vai. Aí o upper. À direita na sequência.
Alex sent his opponent to the canvas again, but Junior Alpha decided not to try and surrendered. Thanks to this, Alex Pereira won the middleweight championship. The next knockout is perhaps the most famous knockout in 21st century kickboxing. It was the second fight against Israel Adesanya, Pereira's main antagonist in his career. In the first fight, Alex won by a judge's decision. However, in the second match, he was losing all the rounds.
你看黑龙的这种低力的摇躲啊、闪啊，体呢是后手连续这是机会，有点晕，这是机会。
Despite the fight being close, but it was enough to make Adesanya relax, and it was precisely at that moment that Poatan delivered his crushing left hook. This confrontation seemed extremely personal, as evidenced by Alex's celebration. The knockout machine named Alex Pereira gained even more momentum, as in the next fight, he organized an equally brutal knockout. At Glory 40, Poatan faced Buram Rab. In this fight, we already saw the classic Pereira style, hands low, many low kicks, and readiness to counterattack with hands.
14 knockouts in his 23 wins. Well, even in Sweden, at one-bit strategy, the low kick and make sure he protects his boxing.
By the end of the first round, Alex delivered a powerful overhand, which marked the beginning of the first knockdown.
Pereira, a couple's chin a little too high. He's staying against the ropes. He's on the verge of getting knocked out if he doesn't. Oh, that knee may have done it!
A knee to the head, and the opponent fell. At the same time in the second round, Poatan delivered a 1-2, and a couple more strikes that sent his opponent down.
And another jab opens the door for the right hand. And now Rama in the corner, taking massive shots, and Paul Nichols might want to think about stopping this.
However, the knockout had to wait until the middle of the third round. This time, Alex Pereira finished the fight with a right hand.
Danger zone.
It seems like Rama will just be happy to survive the fight because he doesn't have much output. He keeps eating punches.
And he goes down again, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
After losing in the final of the Glory tournament, Alex returned to the WGP, where he faced Macon Silva. In this fight, Poatan unleashed all his frustration from losing in the Glory tournament final. Pereira started using calf kicks and didn't rush to counterattack with his hands. In the second round, Alex began to use combinations. One of these combinations completely knocked out his opponent. The way Alex Pereira fought in this bout showed that he was finally confident in his strength and fighting style. This confidence would reflect in his future massive streak of victories and legendary capture of 2 championship titles in 2 weight classes. Suddenly, Alex decided to take a side quest and went to fight under boxing rules. In the Royal Sport, he faced Marcelo de Souza Cruz. Despite it being his debut, Alex felt extremely confident. He forced the action, notably emphasizing his left hook, whether to the head or to the body. And that's exactly how the fight ended. With a hook to the body and to the head. After completing the side quest, Pereira won the middleweight world championship title in Glory. After winning the title fight against Simon Marcus, Alex decided to defend his title for the first time against the opponent he lost to in the previous Glory tournament, Yusri Belgarui. Alex started the fight extremely aggressively, showing that the past defeat was eating him up inside.
His kicks and his knees, where Pereira's got those knees behind punches.
The opponent quickly realized that he was facing a new, confident Poatan. Towards the end of the second round, Alex rocked Yusri, and in response, he tried to pretend he was okay.
He caught him with a right. Belgari goes sprawling back into the ropes. Belgari claims it didn't hurt him, but it seemed like a very legitimate shot from Pereira. And there's another one. And Belgari looked like he almost went down. He's right now. Pereira closing in, and he gets a shot off that.
The end of the round saved his opponent. But in the third round, Pereira delivered a similar combination that created a huge cut on Yusri Belgari's face.
On a right hand, buckles Belgari. He almost went down. Close the show. Belgari gonna be given.
Due to the cut, the fight was stopped after the knockdown. The conclusion of the previous fight, due to the cut, convinced everyone to organize a trilogy to determine the real winner. However, no one expected such an outcome. Poatan again started the fight with high pressure.
With that pressure, you can make sure you can stay and keep going.
Without giving much time to warm up, Alex knocked out his opponent with a right overhand during the exchange. The trilogy ended much earlier than expected, and this time there were no doubts about who was better. One of the title defenses in the middleweight division was against a fighter named Jason Wilmis, a fighter whom Alex lost to early in his career. What could be better? Defending the belt and attempting to get revenge on the offender. From the very first seconds, Pereira delivered all the kicks he knew.
Nice body kick to start things, and a spinning shot from Pereira.
As we're talking about knees.
And Joe, we've seen in the past that Wilnis, a bit of a...
One of these kicks sent his opponent to the canvas.
Ended up getting him that TKO finish.
Oh, high kick! Wow!
Before the opponent could fully get up, Pereira flew at him with a knee.
And now Pereira going for the finish! What a leaping knee!
Another rivalry ended prematurely, and the world witnessed one of the most brutal knee knockouts. Destroying everyone in the middleweight division, Alex decided to test his strength in the light heavyweight division. A fight for the interim championship in the light heavyweight division against Donegi Abena. Observant viewers could notice that despite Alex's powerful punches, his main underestimated weapon is his knees, with which he knocked out many opponents. This is what Alex started using at the beginning of the fight. All three of his deadly techniques were applied alternately.
Frightening power, at least in the middleweight division. Can he carry it up?
The opponent tried to move forward, but over time, Poatan's strength forced Donegi Abena to play second fiddle.
Never know. Another one. 3 high kicks landed for Pereira. And Abena a little off balance. A knee to the sternum there from Poatan.
In the third round, after a powerful left hook, Pereira delivered two more knees.
Abena's hurt. Got him with a left hook. Abena eats a knee now. Can Poatan put him down? And that is a knockdown.
Knocking out his opponent and becoming the interim champion in the light heavyweight division. The next fight in Alex's kickboxing career is the most important one. After all, winning this fight will make him the only glory champion in history, the undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. Young Ertugrul Bayrak tried to prevent this. Despite it being only his second fight in the light heavyweight division, Alex looked bigger than his opponent, which helped him pressure him.
No one else comes even close.
Man, we haven't really seen too many of them.
Card, he said it right after his last title defense.
Straight to the body, a left hook to the head, and Alex Poatan Pereira becomes the champion in 2 weight classes.
No, his nose is already moving. Oh, left hook right at the bell, and that is it. Hands of stone.
After conquering all possible achievements in kickboxing, Alex decided to return to MMA where he met Thomas Powell. As soon as Poatan broke free from the opponent's strong embrace, he delivered a deadly left hook. This performance was enough to convince the UFC bosses to sign him to the world's Premier League. Alex didn't disappoint the UFC bosses, starting his title run with a knockout of Andreas Michailidis with a flying knee. This was followed by the murder of Sean Strickland.
You want to prove it, right? Yeah.
This allowed him to fight for the world middleweight champion title against a man he had beaten twice before, Israel Adesanya. An interesting fact of this confrontation was that Alex's former opponent, Yusri Belgaroui, with whom he had 3 fights, helped him prepare for this fight against Adesanya. These training sessions were not in vain. Alex was losing the entire fight on points, but managed to finish Israel in the 5th round.
He needs to set up the left hook. He needs to set it up.
Thus, he defeated Adesanya 3 times, but the next knockout had to wait a little longer than expected, after losing in the rematch to Style Bet. Alex moved up to light heavyweight to repeat his feat from kickboxing. There, he defeated Jan Blachowicz in a tough fight and became a contender for the title. It seemed that after such a tough fight, Poatan was unlikely to be able to defeat the Czech samurai Jiří Procházka. However, Alex surprised everyone again by winning by knockout in the 2nd round. And now it's time for him to prove himself at the biggest tournament in MMA history, UFC 300. The intrigue grew with each passing day. At the press conference, Hill wasn't afraid to show boldness.
Make no doubt, I'm here to put him out. He got to go to sleep. Only one way to this end. It's okay with him ranking me as fourth. I'm okay with that. You know, whatever his opinions are, whatever. We're going to get in there and see. We're going to get in there and see. You already know how I'm coming.
Question for Jamal. I see the interesting choice of water bottle right there. Can you speak a little bit more about it?
You know, just getting acquainted with the visual that I plan on seeing on Saturday night. I'm gonna hold that head up high.
Eu vou fazer ele lembrar desse momento aqui, quando eu estiver entrando no octógono, quando estiver tocando a minha música, ele vai lembrar desse momento.
I'll make him remember this moment when I'm in my walkout about to go into the octagon and my music is playing. I'll make him remember this moment.
Write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. If we getting it in, when you step in there with me, ain't nothing to talk about, ain't nothing to say. It's all right here and I'm on your ass.
An analyst's intimidation about Jamahal Hill's good boxing skills and overall versatility fueled the interest. Even the fighters' entrances added fuel to the fire. However, the fight itself was disappointing in terms of competition. Just a minute into the fight, Jamahal Hill landed a low blow, causing the referee to give Pereira time to recover. But Pereira pushed the referee aside and immediately knocked Hill out. Creating a new meme with his celebration. After that, it seemed that Pereira could take a break. But something unexpected happened. At UFC 303, headlined by Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, an unforeseen turn of events took place. 3 weeks before the fight, McGregor got injured, and the management was urgently looking for a replacement. As you can guess, Alex once again agreed to save the UFC and headlined the tournament against Jiří Procházka. The rematch between the two best light heavyweights promised to be extremely competitive, as Procházka was the only one in the light heavyweight division who managed to rock Alex. However, Pereira once again disappointed everyone. He dominated from the first second of the fight, intimidating Procházka with his low kicks. He made his opponent think only about them. And by the time the bell sounded at the end of the first round, he sent Jiří into a heavy knockdown. The bell literally saved him. When the fighters came out for the second round, the contender seemed conscious and ready to continue the fight. But Pereira shocked everyone by throwing a switch kick to the head, which completely knocked out Procházka, the only one who could compete with Pereira.
I'm hearing rumors that you guys saw something in the warm-up videos that got posted on Instagram right before the fight.
Yeah, man, be careful what you post before your fight, right? We were browsing on Instagram, I was just sitting down there, and I saw somebody posted a video of us dancing on the warm-up and Jiří getting ready, and the way that he was doing what he assumed was the correct block for the calf kicks was wrong, and I showed that to Alex, and I said, let me see the video again. He goes, when he's doing this, he's putting his hands down. I'm going to kick this guy in the head.
Alex Pereira's next opponent was Muay Thai specialist Khalil Rountree. He was the most explosive and dangerous striker Pereira had faced since Adesanya. However, unlike Israel, Khalil was physically very strong. His power and speed showed early in the fight as Rountree used his explosive skills and landed some good shots on Pereira. But Poatan decided to play the long game, knowing that Khalil would eventually tire. Alex contributed to this with constant pressure and body attacks. Over time, it became clear that Rountree was getting fatigued. And Pereira moved in for the finish. Alex Pereira stopped Khalil Roundtree in the 4th round. Despite being almost 40 years old, Pereira isn't slowing down. He lost his light heavyweight title to one of the best light heavyweights in history, ANKALEV. It seemed like he had no chance in the rematch, especially considering his opponent was young and still gaining momentum. However, Alex shocked the world when from the very first seconds, he rushed at his opponent and knocked him out with the very first punch. Now Pereira is a 2-time light heavyweight champion, adding to his other achievements. Do you think anyone can stop him?